Raise your hand if you've ever been taught by a teacher. Now raise your hand if someone you know who has a job has also been taught by a teacher. While these may seem like obvious questions, this just goes to show the great impact teachers have on us as people. Now I want you to imagine this. Imagine being in the future and you or someone you know has a child and they want to go to school, but they're struggling to get into school. But it's not because they have bad grades or they're misbehaving, but it's because there aren't enough teachers. Throughout the years, there has been a decline in people wanting to become teachers. If we do not raise the pay for teachers, then our society and our future will suffer because students will not be able to get the education they need. Like right now, we have a teacher, and let's say she decides to leave. Most likely, the school will just get a new teacher, and that cycle will continue if more teachers leave. But at a certain point, there won't be any more teachers. Well, maybe in the future, after one teacher leaves, there won't be another teacher for maybe days, months, or even years to say. Well, and this goes to show my 3 main points. My first point is the public's perception of teachers and the myths. My second point is the decline of people showing interest in wanting to become teachers. And my last point is this is why people are slowly not wanting to become teachers, and how that will affect our future students because they won't get the education they need. Now that we've gone over my topics, I'd like to go to my first point. The public's perception and the myths. The first myth is why people believe teaching is easy. Teaching is not easy. People think it's easy because you're already teaching something you know, but teachers have to focus on making sure the students are safe. They make sure they're always there, but they always have to make sure that they're learning and actually knowing how to do the things they have to do. My next point is that many people believe that having summer off is a really big benefit. That is not true. Many teachers work 50-hour weeks during the school year because they have to be the first ones to get there and the last ones to leave to grade papers and also have a lesson plan for the students. And even during the summer, they have to make lessons plans ahead of time for when school starts. And my last point is that some people believe that we should only give raises to the teacher students who have the highest test scores. But this shouldn't be true because not all schools and teachers have the basic necessities that other schools do. Some schools have limited amount of textbooks that the students have to share among each other, and they don't have one each for themselves. Now that we've talked about the myths, I'd like to get to my next point, which has my graph. The graph shows the amount of people completing a teaching program. Throughout the years, it has been on a decline. People do not want to become teachers anymore because teachers often have the same knowledge and education as other professions do, but they do not get paid nowhere near the same amount as they do. Teachers have to do hard work throughout all year. Even on their so-called vacations, they have to do work. Like maybe even on winter, spring break, they still have to grade papers and do other lesson plans and maybe other things. And another reason why people aren't wanting to become teachers is because of the out-of-pocket expenses. Yes, schools do give teachers paper, pencils, and other things, but teachers often want to decorate their class to give their students a better learning environment. That comes out of the teacher's paycheck and money. Yes, and even when the school teachers run out of paper and pencils, sometimes they have to rely on the students bringing in tissues, paper, pencils to help fill the class up. And teachers, if students don't do that, then teachers have to pay out of their own money to help the students with what they need. Now that we've gone over my graph, I'd like to get on to my next point, which is my fear appeal. If teachers do not get competitive wages, then the teachers will just decline throughout the years. Many people already don't want to become teachers because of all of this. And if living costs go up and teachers' pay doesn't go up, then less people want to become teachers. Teachers are basically the backbone of society. Without teachers, there wouldn't be people who are educated and other things. And that goes on to the next thing also. If there aren't teachers, students won't get the basic education. Many people already don't have education as it is right now. But let's say if there's limited amount of teachers in the future, then even more people won't have education that they need. And then my last point is that the schools that do have the teachers will have to fill the classrooms up with many students to get all the students to try to get an education. But that means that the students and teachers lose the one-on-one connection they get. So maybe if a student has a question, the teacher won't be able to answer it like one-on-one because they have to focus on many other students. And then now that we talked about all my points, I'd like to go. So my conclusion. I'd like y'all to promise me these two things. Raise your hand if you promise to me that you will try your hardest to be respectful and make the teacher's job as easy as you can by behaving in the class and not disrupting them. And now, raise your hand if you can promise me this. If you have the opportunity and the money and anything else if you can donate to teachers basic school supplies, and if you have the opportunity to, money to, or anything, donate to them to make their job a bit easier.